Thank you so much. Hotep, greetings. Welcome. My name is Scotty. I do a show on public radio KUVO called Origins of Rhythm. It's a black music show. On that show, I trace the roots and explore the heritage of black music. It's a joyous celebration, a soulful journey that takes us from Harlem to Dar es Salaam, from Trenchtown to Motown, from ragtime to no time, from bebop to doo-wop to hip-hop, and various other black musical expressions and destinations. And its myriad manifestation of black music from ancient to the future. So that kind of sets the parameters. I've been doing it for 24, 25 years. I've been in the radio station for 30. I began as a listener and a collector. I have an awesome record collection. And it kind of translated as I've gotten older, been blessed to have an opportunity to share music on the radio with the folks. And I have a couple of listeners, fans, I guess, out here. As soon as I came in, I said, whoa, I didn't know it was like that. But I'm truly blessed to be able to, I call myself like a conduit. I'm a conduit, I'm just a vehicle. But I feel blessed to have the opportunity to do Origins of Rhythm and to do this kind of speaking engagement. So what we're gonna do is listen to some sound bites. That's the best way to trace the roots of the music. First of all, this begins. We begin in Africa. That's where mankind began. That's when music began. And that's just the bottom line. There's no ifs, ands, buts, maybes. It's been kind of obfuscated, neglected, but that's the real reality. Egypt was in Africa. For some reason, historians have taken Egypt out of Africa. But that's where mankind began, in Kemet, ancient Egypt, on the River Nile. Rivers have been very, very important to black music and black culture. Now, when I say antiquity, I'm talking prior to slavery. That's one of the misconceptions. One of the misconceptions is we as Africans didn't have anything until we came to America, until slavery. And that's a big myth. A lot of the instrumentation that we use were African instruments. The antecedents of piano, trumpets, harps. You read the biblical stories, you talk about harps, lyres, trumpets. These were ancient African instruments that we still utilize. Kalimba, modern piano, that's where it developed. But we don't know these kinds of things. So what we'll do is we'll begin in Africa with a gentleman named Chief Bey. Excuse me. And what I like to show on this particular cut is a tune called Give Me That Old Time Religion. Does anybody ever heard that song? Yeah. Okay.
Give me that old time religion. Give me that old time religion. Give me that old time religion.
It's good enough for me.
It's good enough for me. Give me that old time.
Can you hear the African drum?
Give me that old time religion. Give me that old time religion. It's good enough for me. It was good for my dear mother. It was good for my dear mother. It was good for my dear mother. It's good enough for me.
Now, when I hear that, to me, that's the sound that probably the first Africans were transplanted to the Western Hemisphere.
We're not just talking about the United States. We're talking about the Western Hemisphere, the Caribbean, Central and South America. When I hear it, and this is just my opinion, my feelings and my thoughts, I sense that that's the bridge, spiritual and gospel, but they had African chants. There were prayers that the Africans had. They had incantations, they had chants, they had ceremonies, they had rituals. Am I doing all right without the microphone?
Yes.
Okay, 'cause I don't. So these Africans, they brought instruments, they brought rituals, ceremonies. When there were births, they had certain songs that had to deal with birth. For funerals, there were different songs that dealt with funerals. So they brought these things with them way before slavery. Now, what happened in the Western Hemisphere kind of got crystallized or synthesized with a lot of these, the American experience, the plantation experience, working in the field experience, never getting to go back to Africa experience. And it was reflected in their song. And that's what they sing about. And you hear it in there. I didn't finish the whole song, but that's what they talk about. It was good for my African ancestors, that old time religion. Now the next song I'm going to play, one of the pictures on the slide, I can't see it yet, but it's a picture of a gentleman named Babatunde Alatunji from Nigeria. He came to my project. I'm from Spanish Harlem in New York. He came to my project in about 1957. And I never forget, it's one of those, what I call magical musical moments. I had never seen, first of all, I had never seen my mother and father dance like they did. All I can remember was the African drums bouncing off the tenements and off the, just bouncing. My parents were dancing. Folks from Puerto Rico were dancing. My neighbor one was from Italian and Puerto Rican. They were dancing. People was just screaming and hollering, and it touched the African in them. Now, this was something that I reflected on after.